burnout.
I'm in his bedroom, his girl so had to pretend like I mind the bitch so I can see his face. He introduced
Burning out isn't necessarily a good or a bad thing. It's just something your body does on the regular. It's not that everyone's time bomb's just waiting to fizzle out until they essentially just lose that spark. It's more that the body has a limit. You have a limit, mentally and physically. By doing things that we love and live upon, naturally, there is such a thing as too much of a good thing or just too much of something. The body can't take doing too much at a time, despite the fact that you could be mentally or physically ready for it. Something will eventually have to stop it. There can be times where it can be really crippling and hard to deal with a burnout like this, where you're just in a void and just everything's dark and a bit hopeless and dreary. And getting out of a slump like that can be very hard. Trust me, I know. However, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you that you got to that place. You're not mentally unstable if you are in a burnout or you're just in one of those really bad stages of life where you're just a bit more aimless and there's a bit less direction than there is usually. If one's direction is been cut off, clueless, or just lost momentarily, it's not because a person has no direction in life or they have some larger pursuing mental issue necessarily. It just means that the body right now needs no direction whatsoever. Whether you want it or not, it's going to happen. You have no real power over it at all. I had to learn that because I just thought every time I had some sort of mental blank or just a really big block in terms of writing or just life and school, just I didn't know where it was happening, I would think, Jesus, there's something wrong with me. I got to do something about that. When it's just your body and there's nothing wrong with you. Everyone else experiences this. It's just everyone's just so conditioned to hide it because everyone gets really concerned because burning out isn't something that's normalized because everyone's supposed to be very well put together and just solid throughout society. There are times when people are having bad days and you may not even know it because they have that general persona they have the moment they leave the house, and the moment they get back home it's just going to be back to that really dreary state that they're in when they woke up. Hello, fellow other worker.
Hello there.
How are you doing today? Oh, I'm just overwhelmed by the existential meaninglessness of my existence, but other than that, I'm good. That's great. What if this is all meaningless? There's many sides to this argument because people think if you try to normalize it, people are going to get an excuse like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling it today. And because of that, millennials just get the brunt of being soft or weak. Why should we have to fake something that extreme? Like, goodness gracious. A human psyche can only take so much information and tasks at hand before it needs some sort of break. Burning out will not mean you've lost all sort of talent or writing or ideas. It's just more like a restart or an update on your body. It's just you've reached the maximum limit and now you need to cool down. And it may take longer for others or really short for some, but it happens to everyone. Some just vary in periods and severities of said burnout. Now, as of late, I haven't really been burning out with these videos or anything like that. I've been perfectly fine. I've been grinding out heaps of them. I've been making covers. There's still shit I have to edit. I have way more stuff planned. But a place where I'm really feeling it now is with my writing and just trying to listen to these vinyls a bit more. With my writing, I haven't touched the script a good solid 3 weeks. I have not jotted down a single line, a bit of dialogue. I haven't pitched anything with my other writer or anything like that. And it did concern me a bit. It has been on my mind constantly until this day. And it kind of put me in a really bad funk. Like I was really stressing over whether or not I can continue this or whether just the idea was crap. And then I start doubting myself and reconsidering all the ideas. And I shouldn't. It's a solid thing. And I've been working on this for years. And just because of one tiny little inks, I've stopped. And then I've just lost a lot of confidence. And I should have reassured myself that it's just a small burnout. And whenever I want to, I can stop a lot of the other things and just get back to it. The good thing about this whole quarantine, I have more time to focus on it, write in it, and own it. The only negative about this is that a lot of my writing comes from stuff in life, and that when I'm limited in life, it really puts a dampen on the effects of it. And that's what I really noticed why I got into this burnout and why it felt more extreme than all the other burnouts I've been in as of late. Or just generally a lot of art comes from experience and living life. And right now, life is at the most big old standstill. You know, they hit the pause button, it's the intermission. It's on hold. It's been delayed at the terminal and you're going to have to wait for the next flight. Despite the fact that it was clearly good, I can intellectualize anything I want to justify and sort of understand everything that's going on with my head. I still wasn't sure why I felt this torn down by it. And then the vinyls. Just the amount I'm buying is excessive. Even I know that myself. I've just ordered a Daniel Caesar one, which was good. I finally got it. I'm just one away. But that's it. I'm not just one away. There will be more that I will buy. And that also got to me a lot. Because despite the fact that I planned this list out before of everything I wanted to own, there will always be something else that will come in the back of my head. I will always get into new music and I always desire to own it as well. I haven't even listened to many of them. I own so many vinyls now, and I still haven't listened to about a good 10 of them. Also, I put Stankonia up there because, you know, it's a great album. One thing about 2020, despite the fact that I have generally enjoyed it, is I've lacked the consistency that previous years have brought me in terms of scheduling and life. Curveballs will be thrown at you and there'll be problems that you'll have to conquer and get past and challenges you have to adhere. But this year is just weird. The challenges aren't what you usually expect. It's more just enduring through hardship. And there's no way you can solve it. It's merely just a waiting period, which really sucks. Now, I'm not being ungrateful and saying life is hard for me and I have it the worst. There are more people who have it worse than I do myself, considering how blessed I am to be living in a home, having all these vinyls, having all this equipment, and having the free luxury to do this while other people are constantly working. I understand that. However, I just know the hardest thing about 2020 is we can't do anything to try and stop it. A vaccine will take a year. We can't do anything really stupid to try and offset the very good distancing and measures that we put into place, because all it does is regress us further and further back, leading to more waiting, leading to more hardship, leading to more nothingness. And with that, there's nothing else you can do. We just have to wait it out, and it's really hard, but you need to reassure yourself that this is not going to be the rest of your life. This is going to be life for a fair bit, and we're going to have to get used to it, and it will get easier if you're responsible, because slowly everything will get back to normal bit by bit by bit by bit. And sure, this has totally impacted the world and the way we live around it, but we can get through this because everyone's going through the exact same thing that we are. Sure, it's to varying degrees, but generally everyone's felt the mood the exact way. There's generally not a person unempathetic towards this plight at all. So if you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling just unmotivated and lost, that's fine. We're all there, we've all been there. Just know it gets better. Don't let 2021 up you. Have a good day. Adios.